What's up, people? Welcome to the Ade Gman Q A. Really appreciate you guys sending in the questions as always. A couple of things before we jump into the Q&A. The first thing, most important thing, Gman's channel. The link is in the description. Go and subscribe. We're trying to get him to 30,000 subs. Easily doable. Great content. Puts out 2 or 3 videos a day on different subjects. So go and check it out. The second thing is I have a newsletter now. It's like a newsletter on steroids. It's like a one-stop shop for everything Ade Oladipo, giveaways, prizes, where I'm going to be, latest videos, etc., etc. The link to that is in the description as well. So go and give that a follow. How many subs are you actually on right now, G-Man? Like, what are you on?
24,000, and I think it's something like 62 or something like that last time I checked.
So you know what he says he thinks? You know when he says he thinks, he knows it to the actual number. He knows it. He's trying 24,000 and say he knows it's 24,062.
Yeah, I just checked it. There it is.
See, there you go. Exactly. Like, I think it's 60. He checks these fucking numbers every second. Right. I don't blame him as well. I don't blame him because it's important. Milestones and targets are very, very important. All right, you guys have sent in your questions. Before we get going, have you seen Mission Impossible yet? Are you a Mission Impossible fan?
All right, I have never seen a Mission Impossible movie. Ever.
I don't understand.
There you go.
Why not? No interest.
There's very.
Are you into James Bond or?
No, I've seen a few James Bond movies. Never did anything. They never did anything. The only action movie I've ever really liked is Hot Fuzz with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
That's not an action movie.
I consider it an action comedy movie.
That's a weird. So wait, but Simon Pegg's in Mission Impossible. Like you haven't thought to follow him over to Mission Impossible? No.
No.
Are you just not a Tom Cruise fan? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen a movie with Tom Cruise where he's blown my mind.
Top Gun, the recent one, Maverick.
Nah, maybe I'm just not a Tom Cruise.
Jerry Maguire.
That was all right. No, Jerry Maguire.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
all right. I'll give him that. Yeah. It's like Will Smith. Yeah. Will Smith's another one that I've never really been keen on, but The Pursuit of Happiness is a great movie. Exactly.
I Am Legend.
No, just The Pursuit of Happiness.
Jeez. Okay. Fair.
There's always one. There's always a saving grace.
Okay. Let's hope there's some questions that can save your grace as well. All right. Okay. This one's come from Sharp Moto. Favorite combination or boxing move you wish you would wish to see in the squared circle more often? I love the check hook.
Yes.
Like I love it. I mean, I think we saw Moses Atama utilize it very well against Mike Balogun when Mike Balogun's rushing in and he's just on this back foot, bang. Floyd Mayweather used to use it a lot. He used it against Ricky Hatton so well. And Ricky Hatton folded into the canvas, the apron bit. So I think the check hook just looks so clean when thrown correctly because it takes all of your opponent's aggression, all their power kind of just folds into your, it's beautiful. If done correctly.
If done correctly. And you don't even have to throw it hard because they're just coming into it.
Yeah.
I love the double left hook. Like Mike Tyson used to use.
Roy Jones,
the double left hook, especially if a fighter, say, like leads with the right and then they double up on it. It just, because normally, more often than not, that's an ending sequence. And it just looks amazing. I know Povetkin used to do it. And I remember when he knocked out Johan Duapas, it was with a double left hook. And I know he was, naughty in that fight, but it just looks so incredible. Like when you see that and it's done, you're just like, that's the combination.
What is the best punch? This is such a vague question because it could be millions. But in recent fights, last decade, what's the best execution of a punch you think you've ever seen? I've got one. I'll give you time to think. I'll say mine. Povetkin's knockout of Dillian White. I thought that uppercut was as clean because it didn't look like it had anything on it. It was the cleanest execution of technique that I think I've seen in recent memory. Like there was nothing. Like some people, it was just dong, and that was it.
I'm gonna say Canelo when he knocked out Amir Khan because he was jabbing and then he jabbed to Amir Khan's chest, which brought his gloves down, and then he just went bang over with the right hand, and that was it. It's just the way. Yeah, it's the way he did a little jab down low. He brought the gloves down. Right, you've got a free target. Boom, I'm not going to miss.
Yeah, they always said it, don't they, about sort of timing and speed as opposed to punch power. And those two examples are all about timing and speed. Don't get me wrong, a lot of power in them, obviously, but it's timing and speed that just killed both of those guys. So yeah, great ones. All right, what question you got?
I think waffles are great. And he says, love the show. Do you follow darts? And if so, who do you like? And you know the Premier League final is on tonight.
Yeah, MGM Premier League. It is, yeah. O2 Arena.
O2 Arena, yeah. Luke Littler's
O2 Arena. I was going to go. A lot of the TalkSport boys are going. I was at TalkSport earlier today, and a lot of the TalkSport boys are going. What these guys don't know is that when me and G-Man film here, we play darts. I've got a dartboard. It literally is just to my left here. And fucking, we are very competitive. Not very great, but super competitive at darts. And we're going to film some stuff soon for the members channel about us playing darts and some pool as well. But yeah, we both love our darts. Go on, who's your player? Are you Luke Littler? Okay.
Luke Littler and Gerwin Price. They're my guys. They're playing each other actually in the semi-finals. So that's going to be a hard one. It's like picking between who do you want? Because I like them both.
Yeah. Mine's probably showing my age a bit more. Obviously Van Gerwen of 5 years ago was just unbeatable, just frightening. Obviously he's slowed down quite a lot now. Raymond van Barneveld, when he was doing his thing as well, when he was at the BDO and then came over to the PDC. Who else did I really like? This is going to throw people a lot. Yeah, he is. But you know when someone just dominates too much?
Yes.
There's a guy called Steve Beaton. I don't know if people used to call him the Adonis.
The bronze.
The bronze Adonis, Steve Beaton. I used to love watching Steve Beaton as well.
Like Magnum PI, Tom Selleck.
Oh, the hairy chest, the moustache. Yeah, he was fantastic. But his throw was perfect.
Oh, it's so
his
nice.
His throw style could be one of the best ever. It was so good. So good.
Yeah, we like our darts.
Yeah, we do. You probably heard it there. All right. Question for Ade. What do you think is more likely? My favorite NBA team, the Pacers, beating the Thunder in the NBA Finals, or my favorite boxer, Shakur Stevenson, beating Tank Davis, that they were to meet before Tank retires? That's a very good question. I would say I don't think it's a great matchup for the Pacers against the Thunder. I really don't. Although the Pacers, at the time of recording this, have to get past the Knicks. Obviously, the Thunder already through. I'm going for Shakur to beat Tank as more likely if they fight. It's crazy for me to say if they fight.
They should be fighting.
It should just be happening. I just wonder if it's down to, like Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao took so long to happen, but both were so big in terms of colossal superstars that it was always going to happen, right? Like, we love the fight, but Shakur's nowhere near as big as Gervonta.
No.
And sometimes I just feel as though Gervonta's just chucking splits at him like 90-10, 80-20, take it or leave it. Because Gervonta's too big, whereas Floyd and Manny was a genuine 50-50 money share. So I just wonder if Shakur needs to bring up his own brand. I know it shouldn't be the way it works, but I wonder if that's the case as well.
It probably will. It's a difficult one for Shakur because, again, he's not been setting the world alight. Not his fault. His hands have been absolutely mangled. But it just... Those performances, every single one of them, you're just like, oh, that was bad. And you've compilations now of people saying, oh, well, Shakur Stevenson, you look him up and you're just going to see that. You're going to be like, oh, I don't want to watch this guy.
Yeah. That's the issue, isn't it? I mean, his hands are just so bad. When he does sit on his shots, we saw it against Josh Padley, he can look really good and spiteful. But most times, because of his hands, he just has to box to a decision. And people just ain't interested in that.
No, you're never really going to become a star doing that. This is an interesting one here, right? Richard the Fourth, love the show, boys. G-Man, still can't get over your knowledge of history. Thank you. I think I even surprised you with that one. Favorite movie based on a historical event? Favorite movie based on a historical event? That's a good question, actually.
That's a great bloody question.
There's good movies. Like there's
okay, I've got one. Yeah, Braveheart, Mel Gibson. It's a great movie.
Do you know what? Right, I was gonna say.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Mr. History here is gonna correct me. Go on.
Yes, because I like Braveheart, but it's very inaccurate. Very inaccurate.
Yeah. Okay, but the premise is of a true story.
Yeah, it is, right? But my favorite is actually Outlaw King. which is like a sequel to Braveheart, and they do a much better job of making it accurate, much better.
Okay.
And actually, Outlaw King's on Netflix and it's really good.
Okay, cool. Nice little plug. I like Troy as well, Brad Pitt. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't want to piss off G-Man here. I'm not quite sure if it's a true story or not, but that was pretty good as well.
All right.
There are some good ones, but then even biopics. I think some we've had some really good biopics as well. By the way, there's a good one. I think, and don't be put off by the name I'm going to say. I think it's on Amazon Prime about Donald Trump, and it's played so well.
Yes, I seen that last year. It was him in the 80s.
Yes,
it was really good.
How good is that?
Yeah.
And the guy that plays him fantastically well. I don't know what it's called, but if you guys just Google it, like Trump movie.
I remember.
I think Trump tried to block it from coming out.
Yeah,
because of some of the stuff in it.
With no spoiler alert, but there was a lot of very 80s things in it, and
very.
The guy was brilliant. That was
honestly, you just looked at him and thought, "Oh my god, this is Donald Trump!" Like everything, his mannerisms. Honestly, perfect acting. Never heard of the guy before, but perfect acting. All right, this one from Ian Hamilton says, "Are we quick to jump down the retirement route for some fighters? I'm getting more uncomfortable saying that stuff because I strongly believe the decision is theirs. I just feel 2 defeats and we jump down that rhetoric so quickly." That's a great point.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
He's right.
Why do we do that?
I don't know, because if we were in the 90s, we'd be saying, "Oh, you lost, so what? You can go again." Because in the 90s, they didn't care. Even in the early 2000s, they didn't care. Nowadays, I think everyone does it, between the boxers, the fans, the promoters. "Oh, he's unbeaten. And once you lose, you immediately, "Oh, he's not beaten now." And you start thinking, how would he fare against this guy? He'd probably lose. We overplay it too much. Because look at someone like Chisora. He's simple as, he keeps losing, he hasn't lost in a while, but 13 losses. Yeah, he's still making multi-millions.
Yeah, Rosado was the same. Rosado in America, very similar to Chisora, always in big fights, but lost more than he won, but still in just big fights. I wonder if we are now too fixated on a fighter's health. We take it on board as though we should be the judge and jury of someone's health. When we see a fight, I see it a lot when people say, "Oh, he talks like he's got brain damage. He's starting to slur a little bit." Like Joe Joyce is a great example of that. Maybe we've come to the point where we care so much about the fighters, we don't want to see them take punishment anymore. I don't know, but it's a good question. You're right, because there'll be fighters in the 80s and 90s and 2000s that lost so many times, but it doesn't mean they weren't in great fights.
Exactly. Turo Gaddy, another example. And if he was around today, we'd be saying, "Oh my God, even though he's winning, but you can't be fighting. He can't carry on. Look how many punches he's taking." So it's a great question. It is a great question.
No, it is such a good question. I think it's something that we maybe need to stop doing. I'm guilty of it. I mean, every time I get in the ring, someone loses. "Are you going to retire?"
Yeah.
The first thing, I was going to ask Josh Taylor it the other day. "You're going to retire?" And what I really mean is, you're no longer good enough for the top level. So are you going to stay at that top? Someone like Josh only wants to fight at the top level, the biggest arenas, and he obviously has a number that he fights for as well. And I don't think Ian's maybe taking that into consideration. A lot of these fighters, when you do lose, people are going to want to stop seeing you, unfortunately. Your number's going to drastically come down, and the level has to come down as well. And I'm like, if you're Josh Taylor, do you want all those things?
Exactly. And then how are you going to get yourself up mentally for all that, knowing that you have to start again when you've been to the top? It's a hard road. Really is.
No, very, very. All right, go on. Great question, Ian. What's your one?
Tyrell Fearon, he says, "If you could change any rule in boxing or add a completely new rule, what would it be?" Now, when he says in the ring, as in in the ring on fight night or just in general, we spoke about it on the podcast. Fines for PED cheats, purses being withheld. Okay. That should be a steadfast rule in boxing, a universal rule if we could get it in. If in terms of a rule in the ring, I really don't. Boxing's pretty much been the same for decades.
No, but it does need to be cleared up though, because I think there's so many confusing aspects, standing 8 count, free knockdown rule. Like people are okay. Well, 1 second, the IBF have done it this way, and the WB. No. Just across the board, what is the motherfucking rules? Is it a standing 8 count or not? Is it a free knockdown rule when you're out or not? There's too many. No, but this, the IBF rehydration cap at 10 pounds, was it 14 pounds? So even me There you go. See, there you go. That needs to be cleared up. Why is the IBF doing it, not the WBC, not the WBA? So there needs to be blanket rules across all governing bodies. Because I don't know what fight it was. That's it. It was Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron.
Oh, Liam Cameron, yeah. And
because Liam Cameron got knocked down, everyone was like, no, it should have been a standing 8. And then it was like, well, there is no standing 8. And I was like, what? But there was a standing 8 in last week's fight. It gets too confusing for fight fans. It's confusing for me. So there has to be just a sweep of the rules across all sanctioning bodies, because fight fans are starting to get confused.
They do, and as well as that, even if the commentators are getting confused, because you hear some of them are saying, "Could he have not done that?" and he did this. So even some of the commentators, I think, and then when the commentators are asking questions, you've lost it. Then,
Yeah.
So that's actually a good shout. We do need not just one rule, but steadfast, consistent rules. So actually, it's a great question. I agree.
It's honestly, it's a great question. This one from Ollie06C. Go to takeaway if you've got a dirty hangover. Mine's a greasy, horrible KFC. I'm quite lucky. Sorry, I've got to jump. I'm jumping you here. I normally go to places where, like, I don't really go clubbing that much and drink that much. I mean, G-Man would tell you every time we go out, I don't think I've rarely drunk in front of G-Man. But when I do, I go to clubs that outside the clubs, they literally have guys fucking serving jerk chicken on like fucking on how they make it in the bins, right, type thing. So most times I'm going out, I'm actually getting decent food. But before then, back in the day, it would be a dirty kebab. I'll be honest with you, a dirty kebab. But I had a horrible experience in Germany. Out of the mouth and the arse, and I was like, you know what, never a kebab again. So what would you do?
I'm fairly lucky. I never really get hangovers because like if I do go drinking, like you're talking about 3 or 4 beers and that's it. Like I'm not a heavy drinker. I would say go to would be probably Chinese.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Chinese. If you do wake up with your stomach not fully right, that'll fix you.
That's not bad. Why do you think it is? And it's a great question, by the way, Ollie. Is it Ollie? It is. Why do you think it is that we always tend to go for shit when drunk? Like it's true that everyone will go straight to a McDonald's, a greasy fry up. Like it's just, why is that thing? I wonder what triggers are going around our body. Like, oh no, I need oil, I need sugar, I need salt.
It has to be something in the alcohol that just triggers something in the brain that makes you crave. Because if you think about it like this, if you're smoking cigarettes or you're smoking whatever, you're not really craving any. You're just craving the tobacco. But as soon as you have like a beer or something, you're like, oh my God, I want a burger. I want a Big Mac. And that's
crazy.
It's weird. I don't understand it myself.
No, it makes no sense. Honestly, it makes no sense. All right, what you got? These are good questions today. What you got?
This is a hard question, man. This is a real hard one. Mayor Adam West says, out of the 4 kings, who was your favorite? Who was the best? I always liked Roberto Duran. Mate, how do you pick between the 4 kings?
Mine changes on a yearly basis. Like right now, I'm in my Hearns phase.
Same.
I've been watching so many videos of Thomas Hearns. I've been watching him, and I'm like, he'd kill everyone from this era. I think that's what it is. Like when Floyd was fighting, I was in my Sugar Ray phase. When Golovkin was king, I was in my Hagler phase. So it's whoever's ruling. I think, okay, what would one of the 4 kings have done to that guy?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. So I think I'm in my Hearns phase because I'm like, what would Hearns have done to Terence Crawford? Because that comparison is being made nowadays. Wow. What a fight that would have been, by the way.
That would have been epic. Crawford would have brought it to him, though, because Crawford wouldn't have been able to outbox him. So he would have had to bring it to him.
That would have been a crazy war. So as it stands right now, Mayor Adam West, I'm definitely in my Hearns phase, which could change in a couple of years' time.
I agree. I'm in my Hearns phase. But who do I think was the best? I think Sugar Ray was the best.
I think Sugar Ray as well.
I think Sugar Ray was the best.
Sugar Ray.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love Sugar Ray.
Yeah, I think Sugar Ray. Just because, it's so tough. I got to rank them.
Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler. I feel like
I know feels bad, you feel bad putting someone at 4th, but someone's got to be 4th.
Even though he's my favorite, I'm putting it Sugar Ray, Hagler, Duran, Hearns.
Wow. Okay, so I would go Sugar Ray, Hagler, Hearns, Duran.
You do feel so bad putting one of them 4, don't you? Because you're like, that's not
Duran be 4th. Can Duran be 4th? It's just I was gonna have Duran over Hearns, but I just remember the knockout that Hearns did to Duran was one of the most violent,
Sick.
and then obviously the no mass as well. I know there's a story behind it, but the no mass to Sugar Ray Leonard as well. So again,
Great.
another great fucking question. Bushcraft Adventures 5215 says, do you think it's too soon for a Talma to be given a shot at someone in the top 20? If so, who would you choose for his next opponent? Certainly not too soon.
Certainly
top 20.
not too soon.
I thought you were going to say top 5.
Yeah, I was like, top 20 is easy. I would put Jermaine Franklin in top 20. There you go.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? Yeah. That's the one. Jermaine Franklin. And then if you can swim with that shark, then go swimming with all the sharks. You beat Jermaine Franklin. Say he knocks out Jermaine Franklin. People will be comparing it to what AJ did and what Dylan White did. And then people will be, then it'll be like a free-for-all. Okay, fuck it. Put him in with anyone. Literally anyone. Like, I'm not joking. They could say Usyk or Dubois next. It could be crazy.
They will go crazy on that.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
I like this one here. Leo Donnell, 8387. G-Man, thoughts on the GBM show in Galway next month? Good card with Irish prospect. Joe Ward versus Lerone Richards. Yeah, Joe Ward versus Lerone Richards. That's a really good fight. Listen, GBM are obviously showing their shows on the Zone. They did Terry Harper this weekend in Doncaster. Izzy as if it's the promoter, and I think he's doing phenomenal work. I really, truly do. He's doing amazing work. That's in a stadium in Galway as well. That's it, even in a stadium in Galway. And there's
is it big enough to be on a stadium? Like, I see everyone going to stadiums, and I'm like, let's go to an arena.
They're reasonably small. They're not like, mad big stadiums.
No, but the recent one with Terry Harper, obviously it was nowhere near full. Obviously, look, I think I don't know how many were in there, and I'm like, what's the point? And it started to rain. Is the risk worth the reward sometimes for these stadiums? I like a stadium's that much cheaper than venues, arenas.
I'd say he's paying literally nothing for one in Galway, to be fair. So I'd say it's small, but it will have a great atmosphere. I think Huey Fury's meant to be on that card as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I am looking forward to it. I'll be still in London that weekend, so I can't attend it. But those who are lucky enough, you'll get Galway in the height of summer. It'll be bright at about 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, you're going to have fun there. It's going to be a good show.
As for these shows, it's weird because I was about to say these are like small hall shows, but it's more than that. Now, once you get a TV deal, which he's got, I agree, he's doing really good stuff. He's getting really good people. You know what it is about these TV shows? You get a lot of fighters that, unfortunately, now they're big names, and you guys would have noticed that Matchroom and Queensbury are only showing 4 fights now in the main card. So you get a lot of big names, Maxie Hughes, Terry Harper, great examples of people that need to be within the 4 fights, and because they're not getting on these, they're going to Asif and they're going on those cards, which I think is really important. So I think he's bridging a gap here quite well between small hall shows and Queensbury Matchroom and Boxer, and I think it's working really well. Honestly, working really well. This is a great question. How do you think David Haye? This is from WBA Mitch again. Says, how do you think David Haye would have fared against the recent Big Four of heavyweights? I think he's too explosive for Wilder and AJ, but it could be a shootout. Usyk and Fury grind him down in different ways. Okay, let's get rid of Wilder because he's not in the Big Four. So let's say AJ, Fury, Dubois, Usyk.
AJ, Fury, Usyk beat David Haye. Dubois, I think he would as well.
You think AJ beats David Haye?
Yeah,
obviously you just said it. You just said it. So
he's going to want to be careful. He's going to want to be careful, AJ, because David Haye was explosive and he could just catch you like that. So he's going to want to be careful. But I would give AJ just a slight chance, because when David Haye fought big guys like Joshua, big tall guys, he would look to counter. He wouldn't look to take it to you. So AJ probably could keep him on a jab like he did against Parker, but just be flipping careful.
Yeah. Remember that fight that was supposed to happen between Haye and Fury?
Yeah, I think
there's a list of fights. Remember, that was Fury pre-Klitschko. So it wasn't the Fury we know now. So I don't know, man. I don't know if Fury. It's a what if, right? There's so many fights where, like Povetkin, Wilder, Andre Berto, Sugar Shane Mosley. There's so many fights which were signed, press conferences, never happened. Never happened for whatever reason. Yeah,
Fury.
I might do a video on those.
That was a Fury had abs, like little abs in the footage we've seen of him for that fight. So he was proper serious. Could you imagine?
Prime, and a giant of a man.
And Haye was still useful back then.
Yeah, that's when Haye had Wilder in the camp, Richard Towers, Philip Hergovich in the camp. Like, he got real good sparring, like giants to spar as well. All right, go on. What you got? A couple more.
Okay. If I'm reading another question from Tyler Fearon again, right? Because it's an interesting one. If you could choose one fighter to remain undefeated from any or each weight class, who would it be? So you got to pick a fighter from a weight class who you want to remain undefeated. I'm assuming he's asking, not who you think.
Mine's easy. Mine is I think and I want. Mine's Jar Pataya. I want him to remain undefeated because, I mean, this fucking guy excites the shit out of me. Like, I honestly, dude, I think he's so just menacing, but such an entertainer. Takes risks. He knows what he's got, but still takes the risk to fight inside the pocket. The way he bounces on his toes, southpaw, very reminiscent of Usyk, but a bit more aggressive. Maybe Usyk at cruiserweight. And I honestly, I've said this for a couple of years now. Sorry, I said this that in a couple of years' time, I think him versus Moses the Talma is going to be a super fight at heavyweight. Honestly, I genuinely believe him versus Moses will be the super fight at heavyweight. I really do believe it.
And that's who I'm going to say, Moses Talma at heavyweight. So one of them is definitely going to lose, but I think a Talma has the potential. Now, understand this. Not saying he will. The potential to be up there amongst the Lewises and the Calzaghe when all said and done. Not saying he will.
Jesus Christ, 12-0.
He has the potential. Man, this kid's a maverick. He really is.
Don't we need to see him in against someone? Like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm guilty of it as well, but don't we need to see him in there against? Oh, okay.
I know. Well, no. I'm just saying. I'm saying it with a smile on my face. I know, but we just see so good. It just looks so good.
Okay, now fair. I get it. This one's from Raj M Bucket 632. Is Keshan Davis now a top dog at the lightweight division? If not, who do you think he needs to challenge to be? Who do y'all think he needs to challenge to be? Well, he's not going to get it from Edwin De Los Santos. It is De Los Santos he fights, who hasn't fought since Shakur Stevenson defeat. I mean, it's crazy. I think he is a top dog. I think he's a problem. Yep. I think he's a problem at 140. I think he's a problem at 147. I think physically he has the size to go up through a couple more weight divisions. I think he's super aggressive as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see on the rematch him and Andy Cruz over 12 rounds. The history from the Olympics. There you. Sorry about that. That's something pop up on my screen just there. Sorry about that. But yeah, the history. From
it didn't pop up. It didn't pop up on this screen. Nothing.
All right. I thought it was StreamYard because it literally just went boom, and I was like, oh crap. But yeah, no, him and Andy Cruz, the history from the Olympics. Andy Cruz, he never beat Andy Cruz in the Olympics. So there's that story there. And
Andy Cruz almost looks undersized for him.
He does.
It's weird. Like, yeah, he looks actually undersized. Like, you know the way I say Keshan will go through the weight classes? Andy Cruz is stopping at 135. Like, he starts at 135, he ends at 135.
Yeah, he's not getting much bigger.
No. Like, he might have to be Loma good to start winning some titles because obviously he looks a bit undersized for these guys. Obviously, look, we know how skillful he is, how good he is. But is he Loma good? I don't know. I don't think he is. I mean, so I'm not quite sure.
It jumped out at you immediately with Loma.
Immediately, even in his first defeat.
Yeah, he's good, but he's not that.
All right, have you got one more? Anything else there?
No, I think most of them are pretty much good. I think we pretty much nailed them all, man. To be honest with you, I'm struggling.
Okay, this one's come. Maybe this one a bit different. WBA Mitch says your top 3 albums of all time. Mine is Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, and Tupac, Me Against the World. I'm a big fucking Tupac fan. If you did not know, I could literally go Tupac, all of them. The whole lot could be Tupac. Machiavelli I could get rid of Miseducation. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill is the greatest album for me of all time. But then the Tupac ones are sort of in their own sort of just stratosphere.
Okay. 2 of my favorite albums. One of them was the Slim Shady Chronicles. Was that what it was called? Or was it the Slim? I know it was the Eminem Show. I think it was the one before that. It was one of Eminem's first ever albums. And one of my favorites, I still listen to songs off it now because it was, for me, it was just amazing, is Exhibit, Weapons of Mass Destruction. You ever heard any songs from that album?
You're a hip hop head. Oh, I'm a hip hop head, dude. You're talking to Mr. Fucking Hip Hop. There's a reason I'm covered fully top to bottom with tattoos. I got a bit too into it. If I'm honest with you, I got a bit. My mum got worried. I used to fucking have Exhibit posters all over the wall. Tupac posters, KRS-One. Literally, I was a bit too much involved in all that shit.
No, WMD was a great album. That was a
No, no.
really good album. That had so many classics on it as well.
I will say this though, just to kind of bring it back to over here. I listen to a lot of Coldplay sometimes, a bit of Oasis as well. So it's not just hip hop. You know, I can mix it up a little bit, you know, now and again. But my music of choice is hip hop and neo soul. But I do listen to everything. As you guys might know or might not know, I was fostered when I was young. I was fostered with a white family in Brighton for like the first 9 years of my life. So I have all the influence of kind of the music they used to listen to. And then the music I grew up with has got an eclectic taste of music, to say the least. All right, G-Man, it's another great episode of Q&A. Thank you very much. Guys, you know what to do. Subscribe, newsletter, YouTube, all the good stuff. And we shall see you person finally next week with a sponsor. A sponsor. The channel's growing. Yeah. Peace.